My name is Beverly. I take care of my husband, Robert, who's had a stroke in 2018, and he was diagnosed with dementia on September 25th, 2019.
My name is Laurel, and my caregiving situation is with my husband, who is now in care. He has dementia. One of the challenges that I've had is you get the label of caregiver before you're ever ready to be a caregiver. You don't even know what it is to be a caregiver.
As a caregiver, you question yourself all the time. How do I talk to doctors about him? Am I doing the right thing?
I remember, having a young child, and you go through all of that, and then you're at the end of another phase of your life. The person who's been, with you to make decisions starts to not be able to do these things. And there's a disbelief that happened for me.
I'm Jonna. I work with Caregivers Alberta. I've been there since 2019. My role is overseeing all the programs and services that we offer. Caregivers are people who are caring for family members or friends that need help because of an illness, whether acute or chronic, disability or aging-related needs.
My name is Jackie Eels, and I'm a research manager in the Department of Human Ecology at the University of Alberta in Edmonton. Caregiving is also about relationships and care as being in relationship with other people. And as many caregivers will attest, it's that process of being in relationship with other people and experiencing and negotiating and renegotiating those close relationships over time that can be emotionally exhausting and very challenging.
Everyone's life is affected by the role of caregiving. In Alberta alone, there are over 1 million caregivers. Caregivers are giving a lot of time.
The vast majority of care that's provided is provided by family friend caregivers. So anywhere, estimates between 75 and 90% of all care is provided by family members and friends. And without the labor of family friend caregivers, the healthcare system would crumble. Caregivers often don't identify with themselves as being a caregiver. They'll say, oh, I'm not a caregiver. I'm a mother, a father, a daughter, a son, a grandchild, a spouse or partner. I'm a close friend. That's what we do for each other.
It's hard to recognize yourself in that role because there's so many personal emotions that then come with that. It's difficult to discuss. It's personal. Because when you look at the caregiving role, it is an additional role that you're offering this person you love in your life. It is outside of the relationship that you normally have with them. And that role of caregiving has a lot of added stress, a lot of added work. And so then by talking about that, it makes you feel guilty. Because by saying you're a caregiver, you're acknowledging the work that you're doing for this person, or the help you're offering to support them. And it feels like a betrayal to just, this relationship that's just your friendship or your family member.
Being a caregiver, that word just kept coming home to me, and I'm thinking, I'm not sure I have that hat on yet. I see myself differently. I think the process of been learning to become a caregiver, you do some of your grieving. Like you go through the anger and you go through, and it's not like you're finished it because he's still here. Putting him in care was what we needed to do so that, we could live and breathe, and that, we could offer support, but it could be the kind of support that didn't mean that we were going to drown too. People had to work, and there wasn't any way out of it. There were resources I got involved with the caregivers, and that was an adequate and really positive resource for me. But even in the caregiving circle that I was part of, I said, I keep trying to hold, like just provide this sort of container so that we can move through these different spaces. And he said, it's not something you can hold. You do that and you get to a place where this is what I can do. I have the responsibility of being the best person and the best caregiver I can be while I'm there. You have to have the support. It's not a road that you want to go by yourself.
As a caregiver, you're dealing with so much stress and you are so overwhelmed that the less things you think about that are hurting you, the easier it is to just keep juggling it all. But here's why you have to recognize it, because if you don't, if you're only recognizing your role as a son or a daughter, then you're not going to reach out in the same way for support services for yourself. And caregivers need that support for themselves because they are carrying a large weight. And so you need to talk to people who have been through that, because they have tips and secrets that you need to know.
Being with caregivers has helped me learn from other people that it doesn't matter if you have a loved one with dementia or MS or whatever. We all have this common thing. We all get joy, anger, frustration. We have to keep it together and take care of our loved one. That was the biggest mistake I made in the beginning, is to be super bad and just burn myself right out, because you have to have that time to realize that you can't be superhuman. So that's a decision that I had with myself, to talk to myself and say, what do you want to do? You want to be in this depression, or do you want to get out of it and live life to the fullest? You don't know what tomorrow brings. You can't change what you did 5 minutes ago, never mind what you did before. So you got to go on with your life every day and treat it like it's the last day you have, and do the best you can. If somebody else doesn't like it, that's their problem, because I know inside I'm doing the best I can.
Caregivers often feel like they're alone and dealing with care within their own families and within their own homes. And depending on their culture, they may feel more or less comfortable talking with somebody. Using research to raise awareness about caregiving is really important to help normalize caregiving and help caregivers to be able to identify that they are a caregiver, and really to seek support earlier on in the process before they become burnt out.